Well, that's a fun film, and it's John Wayne 6 years before he made Stagecoach. And back with me is Scott Iman, an expert on all things John Wayne. Now, interesting about this movie, let's talk a little about Paul Fix, who played Bart. Now, that's such a familiar face, and mainly from John Wayne films.
Sure. Well, Paul Fix started out in the silent era, and in the 30s, he tended to play skulking heavies. As he got older, he became kind of an authority figure, and he shows up. He plays Elizabeth Taylor's father in Giant.
Right.
I mean, he was Micah Torrance in The Rifleman, the sheriff in the Rifleman TV series, very successful show for years. He tended to play kind of fatherly authority figures later in his career. But he was part of Wayne's extended filmmaking family. Wayne very much adopted the John Ford model. He liked to see familiar faces. He liked people that didn't have to be brought up to speed, who knew how he liked to work and could mesh easily with the system of production that he liked. And Fix became very much a part of his filmmaking firmament. For a time in the 30s, he kind of had Fix acting as an unofficial drama coach for him. Because Wayne had a couple of mannerisms that he would overuse. He would wrinkle his forehead too often and things like that, and Fix would, you know, give him little signals about what to do and what not to do. Because Wayne, as I point out in the book, was a natural star. He was not a natural actor. He had to learn to be an actor. He didn't have to learn how to be a star. That was a function of his personality and his charisma and his force. But he had to learn to act, and Fix helped him. Later on in the 40s, Fix would work as a co-author on some scripts for Wayne. He wrote Tall in the Saddle for Wayne, a couple other pictures.
Really?
And he would do occasional uncredited writing assignments for Wayne, too, polishing dialogue, because he knew what Wayne wanted to sound like, and he could supply that. And Fix's daughter, Marilyn, married Harry Carey Jr.
Oh, really? Part of the family.
Part of the family, so it became almost an official part of the family.
Were there a lot of people in that family?
The Wayne filmmaking family? Yes, yes, yes.
Because I would imagine, you know, if you're off on location a lot or traveling around or just being around a crew, you want to be around people you like, that are pleasant to be around.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Wayne was extremely gregarious, and he was a compulsive chess player. He needed a game. That was how he passed the time between shots, waiting. And on a movie set, there's a fair amount of waiting. So he needed to have a couple guys that could give him a good game of chess. And there were guys that were hired on a regular basis on John Wayne movies, basically just to play chess. They weren't the greatest actors, but they could give him a good chess game, so they always had a gig. Yeah.
Well, let's move on. Don't go away. Coming up next on our look at the early career of John Wayne, we have Wayne in a small part in a big movie, a movie from pre-code Hollywood and starring the dynamic Barbara Stanwyck. The only time John Wayne and Barbara Stanwyck ever worked together.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Star of the Month John Wayne is a stepping stone for Barbara Stanwyck in Babyface. Then early Hollywood policies are explored in Thou Shalt Not, Sex, Sin, and Censorship in Pre-Code Hollywood. And the Duke volunteers to hang up wires along the Telegraph Trail.